be in English or Vietnamese, local language. So it might be hard to understand for some of you who are international viewers. But I think from the matches you can see, like, there's a lot of audiences. For example, this match, the finals last year we played in Da Nang, had 8.1 million views on YouTube. Yeah. So for an esports team like us, actually, digital media and content creation is also our key strategy. We want to create content that engages the fans, connects the fans to our players and our talents. So a lot of it is centered around actually social media. So you can have a look at some of our posts here. Again, a lot of it is in Vietnamese. We also have an international page. You can search for it later. A lot of it is in Vietnamese, but you can see that the engagement is extremely high. A lot of these fans actually love the players very, very much. Yeah, this on our team. Yeah. So we have won many tournaments. The AOB team as well has won the Arena of Valor World Cup. So last year we were the first team in Vietnam's esports history to win a world championship, and we took home $200,000 US. Yeah, just some screenshots. This is some of the tournaments, photos from the tournaments, so you can see that the production value of some of these tournaments is relatively high. Yeah. So this was the fans that turned up for the event. Huge turn up. As you can see, this is a huge production. It's almost like a football match in a live stadium. Yeah. We have other teams as well. So last year we had a Free Fire team. Free Fire is a very popular game. I think in other countries like Malaysia, Singapore is PUBG Mobile. That is quite similar. But for us, we have the Free Fire team. They went to the World Championship in Brazil last year as well. So last year we won 2 World Championships. So this was the second title that we won. A very nice trophy. Yeah. This was the World Championship. And then we also had some very good awards that we won. In Vietnam, we actually won one of the biggest entertainment mainstream awards called the We Choice. We Choice Award is actually one of Vietnam's most prestigious awards, honoring entertainers, musicians, youths. So our team was actually nominated as well. Yeah, and also we won award top 30 under 30 of Forbes Vietnam as well. This was in Indonesia, where our team won the Indonesian tournament. Also, we won so actually going back into our company, our media. So we do have a lot of channels, media channels and brands that we own. So on the right is more of like our players and our streamers. So we have certain numbers in terms of the followers, counts and everything. So like for our team side, we do have a lot as well. So like team is actually channels that we own. For our players, we do not specifically own their channels, but we have certain rights in terms of marketing rights. We also sell their channels as well to some of our sponsorships. So these are some of the brands that we have worked with. One of the biggest sponsors of the team is actually Vietjet Air, which is the national airline of Vietnam. So we actually have a long-term sponsorship deal with this company. At the same time, we also have a streaming deal with a very familiar name, Facebook. Facebook has a gaming streaming program for esports players as well. So we actually signed a deal with them as well to do live streaming. And then we have other brands like Under Armour, Logitech, Vitamilk, which is a local milk brand in Vietnam, Samsung. Some of these brands are quite global as well. Yeah. And we also have, basically after everything we've done, we have created a huge brand. And these are some of our fans across Southeast Asia, not just Vietnam. Yeah, some even from Malaysia as well and other countries, and Thailand. I think we have quite a lot of fans in these two countries. They order a lot of our. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the end. So I'm happy to take some questions from the audience. If there's any questions about setting up an esports team, if you want to know more questions about my journey in the esports industry, of course there's a lot of articles online writing about Team Flash and also myself, but I'm happy to answer any questions personally as well.
So we open opportunity to the participant who have a question to the speaker.
Yeah, Mary Beth, right? Mary Beth, what's the health benefits of esports, right? I think like as an esports player, many people have the concept that esports players are maybe not healthy, or they play games every day like for a long time. But actually, our company, we have a very structured program. So we have coaches, we have managers, we have staff that actually look after the players, the health of the players, daily nutrition as well, and also the schedule. So it's not so much of playing games all day long, but it's more of like we schedule it according to like our professional team training. So much like a football club, like a football club also focuses on getting their players fit, match ready. We also have certain program where we also work a lot on the players' mental health as well, and also the performance aspect of the game. So like we are very, 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 very much paying attention to their health on a daily basis. When they compete in tournaments, they also have to look after themselves. Some of these tournaments can be very, very tiring. Imagine like you train for like a whole season long, like which is about 3 months. A season on average is about 3 months. So every week you have a match, and every week when you go to a match, and then you have to keep your performance levels up throughout the 3 months. So it's actually a very tiring process, and so actually our players also become more fit as well towards the long term. So that is where I think we see that there's a lot of potential to help the players, not only have a fulfilling career playing games, but at the same time look after themselves, develop themselves as well. So we do keep a focus on that very much. Yeah, Steve, I see your question. What's my advice to parents that are skeptical of allowing children to build a career in esports? This is something we face quite often. So like when we try and bring a player into the team, we have to speak to usually their family, because sometimes the players actually stay with us quite often. We have a so-called a training area set up for them. They actually have to look at their schedule, work with us on the schedule. So the parents also, of course, they're concerned, right? They're concerned that their kids might not be in the have to have the best environment. So like we do speak a lot to them, and we make sure that they feel safe to leave their children with us, because we take care of them like pretty much daily at the moment. So actually we want to maintain that constant communication. We want to tell the parents that this is a real career. Your kid is actually going to be a superstar. So we work a lot on the branding as well, and the numbers also come up. Some of our players are so famous. Like from the first time when we spoke to them, they were kind of like scared. Parents were also a bit uncertain. But after like we develop them, it's an amazing journey. You see the players start to really develop, and the parents as well are really proud. There's one particular player here in Vietnam that I remember. When we first wanted to get him on the team, his mother was very skeptical. And today she's very supportive, because she realizes that wow, this is actually a real career, and our company is helping her kid to become a better person as well. Yeah. I think I see a question from Edwin earlier. I missed. How did I first get involved in esports? Why did I decide to make the jump? So for me, I've been a gamer since I was, I think, since I touched the computer, like when I was 8 years old. So like, it's been a very natural progression. I love gaming as a form of entertainment. But I think for me, like what I saw was like 13 years ago, I saw that that there's huge potential in building a professional gaming team. At the time, this concept wasn't common. In 2006, so at that time there was a lot of competitions going on, a lot of casual players that started to play the game a lot. They started to play more seriously. And I saw that there was this social trend going where, eventually some of our younger future generation will start to watch esports more. They start to follow the players more, especially in countries like Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, where, the players are very, very much very famous, and I think we see that, there is that trend where, eventually an esports team is like a football team, and, building a business was part of that dream. So I kind of like, it really started because I love gaming, and then I got into the community. I started to see that there was huge potential to build a professional team, and to sign players and to build like a sports club, so that's how I would describe my journey. I chose Vietnam as well. I saw the question. I mean, yeah, I chose Vietnam because I saw the market size was huge, you know, and I saw that people in Vietnam love to play games. Like if you are ever been to Vietnam, or you are planning to make a visit, obviously now because of the COVID-19, it's a bit hard to come to Vietnam easily or other countries, but I think Vietnam in particular has a huge growth potential in terms of esports. You know, the young generation here, a lot of them are on mobile phones, they're playing games. You know, a lot of our professional teams that we've signed as well are also mobile gaming teams. So we actually have a platform to really reach to the youth of the next generation. And so that is actually quite key for us as well. Yeah. And the growth potential of the market in Vietnam, and also like the cost as well. The operating cost of running a team here is much lower compared to other countries. Obviously, the costs go up every year, but in the first year when I first started, I remember the cost was quite low, and you know we managed to really grow the team to a certain level while managing the cost, and that also helped us to attract other new investors along the way. So I think it was one of the best decisions I made in terms of expanding the team to Vietnam. Yeah, I think the way we spot talents is there is a system that we have here. So like obviously we look at firstly the ranking of the player. So we have certain ways to look at the rankings. You know, usually with every game there is a system in the game which allows you to look at how good player is. But then we also use a lot of data as well. So data analytics, you know, is something we look at to make sure that, you know, a player has the performance attributes that we need. After that, we kind of look at the more of like the human part of the player. So like, can the player fit into a team of 5 players? You know, because a lot of the young kids, you know, they're not necessarily used to playing as a competitive team. Some of them just love to play the game, but they might not be suitable to play in a team, professional team. So we know what we're looking for. We know what are some of the key attributes or characteristics that are quite important for building an esports team, you know. And you know, I think we have done quite well with that because we've produced world champions in few titles, especially Arena of Valor, you know. So League of Legends as well is a really popular title in the world, LOL. So like we are currently the reigning champions as well in Vietnam, and also, you know, we've done very well in terms of player selection and recruitment. I think for some players that do not make the cut, we have other opportunities like becoming a streamer, you know, becoming a YouTuber. They call it YouTuber nowadays. So like on YouTube, you have a lot of people that create content, and some of them are making money daily. You know, they have the AdSense program with YouTube. So like you actually can create ads and run ads on your channel, and that's how you monetize through your YouTube channel. So we focus a lot on just gaming content to look at how good it is. Some of the players manage to make money through YouTube as well. So a lot of it revolves around media and content generation as well. And we use the content to generate more revenue. So there's a lot of opportunity for some of these esports players. Even if one day they retire, or you know, they don't make it into a professional team, you know, they can look at other career routes, because if they love gaming so much, you know, there's a lot of other ways that they can get involved as well with the esports industry. Yeah. Does anyone else have any more questions? I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation today. Yeah. If you have any more questions, actually you can drop me an email. Let me just write my email down. So you can always drop me an email as well at that address. You know, I'll be happy to answer to your questions after the presentation. Yeah. Which other? I saw another question. Evan, thanks for that. Which other ASEAN country have huge potential for esports? I would say that besides Vietnam, the 2 countries that I think have a lot of potential would be Thailand and Indonesia. And I think Malaysia as well is growing really fast. Malaysia, I think they have a lot of leagues and tournaments going on right now. And the government is also paying more attention to esports. So I think in Southeast Asia, in particular, you know, these 4 markets really come to mind in terms of like signing a team, bringing a team up in these countries. You know, the esports and gaming market size is also huge. So like I think that these 4 countries have really good potential, and also, you know, brands in these countries typically have a good marketing budget as well. they want to reach out to the young generation, so they're willing to spend money as long as the numbers make sense. And for us, we have proven the numbers in Vietnam that it works. People like esports. The fans like esports. It's a very young demographic. It's from 12 to 26, 27, 28. It's really in that generation where if some of you have kids, then your kids might be esports fans. So this is a generation that is quite hard to reach as well through traditional TV. Yeah, Akmal, how did I see in the past that esports can grow to something big in this time? Honestly, I didn't know, but I really like the gaming. I really like gaming, as a pastime when I first started, and then I realized that I'm not the only one. I realized a lot of people like to play games, and based on that, I saw the trend of huge tournaments being held. And then eventually there will be a huge production. This production will be it'll be actually something that's staged, and something that a lot of investment will go in. So for example, Riot Games, League of Legends, they spend a lot of money on producing their tournament production. That's a key part of also going back to the part of getting more sponsors to invest in the scene, proving that the tournaments, a lot of people actually watch and even attend the tournaments. So in Vietnam, some of the tournaments are huge. There's almost few thousands people that come into the stadium. I showed a few pictures just now in my presentation. So actually, I just felt that based on the community, and the way that things are going, especially for the future. The future, everybody's playing games, and then esports is more about watching games and following the people that play the games and making a product out of that. So the team is just a product out of this social culture, right? That I would say. So we managed to make it big in this period of time. I think it will keep growing so much. Yeah. Dania, right? Dania, thanks for the question. We have expansion plan throughout the Southeast Asia region. So Vietnam was the first market that we decided to enter in the esports industry. But we do have a plan to go into other countries in Southeast Asia. I think Malaysia has a lot of potential at the moment. One of the biggest played games in Malaysia is this game called PUBG Mobile, which I think is really popular now. And then there's another game called Mobile Legends. I think these two games are really, really popular. If you search for one of the best Malaysian esport teams or organizations right now, I think it's this organization called Bosca. They have a very nice team in the country and very popular players. So maybe some of you who are esport fans might know about them. So we are looking at any country that can, that has a huge fan base, potential players for us to sign. It takes a while for us to really scout the players and be sure of the business plan as well. But we definitely have an expansion plan coming throughout the region. I think COVID-19 has delayed many companies, not just us. So we're still looking at certain timelines for things to happen. But I think next year we plan to expand further our company and also sign more teams throughout Asia.
I think that's it. Thank you to all those who attend in our eSport webinar. We will thrilled by the attendance we had. We also like to thank our speaker, Mr. Terence Ting. Thank you again for your attendance. We look forward to bring you even more webinar in the future. We truly appreciate for your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Terence.
For having me. Like I mentioned, if you have any more questions, you all can drop me an email at the address above. I just sent it. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation today.
Thank you, Terence. Thank you. Yeah.
Good evening. Thank you.